Hello everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for the first day of my 12 days of Christmas. I think this is my 4th series, I can't be too sure, I'll have to double check that, but we have 12 days, they're not going to be back to back, but we do have 12 days of projects coming up over the next couple of months. They are going to be spread out over weekly, and today's project is going to be this beautiful Christmas card. So this is a black ice technique and I've used coloured inks. So let me grab the inks here because I haven't got them out already. Here we go. So usually we'd be using black StazOn ink, so I have that out already, so we're going to be using that today, but you can also get StazOn in other colours. So I thought I would experiment with those colours and see what lovely Christmas cards and things that we can come up with in designs. So let's get on with showing you how to make this beautiful card. Right, so it's really hard to get the lighting right for this sort of project, so I've fiddled with my light so it is a little bit brighter, and hopefully you can still see all of this beautiful coloured detail. Anyway, so let's get on with making the project. So this card is 5x5, so you can make this any size you want, and I've cut some silver mirror cardstock here. This is this measures 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, but all of the supplies and the materials list will be listed down below in the description box, and it will also be on my blog as well. There'll be a link taking you directly to that page, linked down below as well. So let's grab the stamp set. I'm just trying to get this in the right place so there's not too much reflection, so that seems like a good place. So the stamp set we are using is from Sizzix. It's by Katelyn Lizardi and it is called Winter Phrases, and I'll have a link for this down below. You can get it from Craft Stash and Amazon. I absolutely love this set. So we're going to be using this leaf here and also this sprig here. As you can tell, some of them are quite coloured green as well. So there are so many other there are so many other lovely stamps here that I would like to use on other projects, so this may reappear, probably not part of the series but on separate, because I'll be doing other Christmas videos as well, not only just the 12 days of Christmas. I have so many projects, they're not going to fit on the 12 days, so let's pop that aside. Right, so let's get stamping. So let's grab our stamp, our blocks here. Okay, right, I would like to get the Merry Christmas in first in the centre, but because that is a sentiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stamp positioning tool. So I've got my Holtz one here. Any stamp positioner will do for this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on here, and I will come back and reuse this again. So I'm going to leave the stamp exactly as it is on here. So I'm going to be using StazOn Blazing Red to start with. And it comes just like the black StazOn. It has this little plastic cover. So let's clear the decks here. There we go. Right, let's stamp that on. And then press that down. So as part of the techniques that we're going to be using on this, we are going to have to add one last or 2 layers at the finish. You'll see exactly what I mean once we're done. Okay. I do like to keep the lids on these. They do dry out pretty fast. So we are now ready for our next stage. Leave your stamp in on that. We'll be coming back to that in a moment. Let's move this there. There we go. Right, let's get our stamps mounted up now. So we have this one here, and we have this one here, and I don't know why I have this one out, because we don't need it. And and I do need to use a smaller one here. There is one other little stamp that I forgot to put on there. It's this little bauble here, so maybe we'll go for a different bauble. Actually, I quite like this one. We'll go for that. No, snow. Yes, we'll go for a snowflake. Let's be really different. Okay, let's mount this snowflake onto there. There we go. Right, so we're going to start off with the green one. So this is olive green. These are really juicy, and it does kind of swoosh about a little bit, as you can see just here. It does smoosh about a bit, but that kind of adds to the look of the leaves. Okay, so this is the shiny surface, so you kind of want to be really careful because it's going to want to slip. And one other thing I need to do is I need to add a bit of paper under here, because I don't want to get it onto my cutting mat underneath, so I'm going to use a piece of paper under here as well. That's quite important if you want to protect your surface from the StazOn. Right, now we're ready to start. Right, we're all prepped now. Right, so let's get this just stamped on there. You'll kind of see the ink moving around because it's not an absorbent surface. That's why we're using the StazOn. So it won't all be perfect, and I want to leave some gaps for the other stamps that we're going to use. So that's kind of why we did the sentiment first, so then we can stamp all the way around it. There we go. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Another thing I'm doing is I'm going off the edge as well. That really helps to continue the pattern. There we go. Right, so now we're ready for the next one. He's staying with the same ink now. I do want to leave some space for the snowflake as well. Okay, so if there's no room for the snowflake, I may just transfer to a smaller, I think we've got room. If there isn't enough room, just try and find a smaller stamp on the set, and that should work okay. So we're moving on now back to the blazing red. So the thing about this blazing red is it is blazing red. Let's have a quick look here. But when we use it on the mirror card, it kind of goes like a pinkish colour, so that was what inspired this pink cardstock that we've used here. Right, so let's get our snowflake on there. Oh, that's really pretty. I love that. There we go. Off the edge again. Just going to add another one. You can lay it on top of things as well. That's absolutely fine. There we go. Right. I'm really liking how that is looking. Right, so that is pretty much dry now, but I am going to give it a few moments. So I'm going to tidy up here, and then we can go on to actually making the black ice effect over the top of this. So if you are new to the black ice effect, I do have another video where I've just used black StazOn ink, and I will make sure that that is linked down below. So this is my second, I think, black ice video. Right, so now moving on to the jet black. Right, so what we have to do is, using our pad, brush it along left to right, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'll do exactly the same. Turn it again. If you want to practice, just practice on a little bit of spare paper, just like so. Just to test how much is going to come out, and you can like practice on your pressure as well. Hoping the lighting is still okay. Right, so let's brush this across. just like that. There we go. I'm going to turn this around and go back the other way. Just like so. You may wish to leave it a little bit longer. I do have a bit of smudging here, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to drag it down just to make sure that all of the edges of my card has the black edge there. I just want to add a little bit of extra black across the middle here. So you can either have it tilted very slightly, so that's my surface, you can have it tilted slightly, or you can go flat across. Just have a practice and see how it looks. Okay, so that is my card. Almost done now. So now I'm going to move over to Versamark, and then there's another thing that I want to get ready as well. And that is clear embossing powder, and have your heat tool ready to go as well. Okay, so the next stage is, I'm just going to quickly heat this. And then let it cool down. That's just to kind of set everything there. If you want to avoid all the smudging and having to wait, you can also use your heat tool just to set the inks before you go ahead and use the black on. See, I have a little bit of smudging here. Oh, you can see my cardstock collection there. So I have a little bit of smudging on there. This is really hard to film actually because it's so reflective. That might be the best place, but I do have a bit of smudging there. Right. So now I'm going to go on to my Versamark. We're going to do exactly the same. We're just going to drag it across. I'm going to go around the other side and drag that across as well. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is going to grab my clear embossing powder. I think we can get rid of that now. We don't need that. I'm going to use a spoon for this. Put my spoon away. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add my clear embossing powder on there. It's really useful having your embossing powder in a large box like this. This is a sandwich box. There we go. That's almost covered. Don't worry if there's a few patches and gaps here, because that all adds to the overall effect once we're done. Okay, so I have a little clipboard here that I use for heat embossing large areas and things that I can't actually hold on to because I don't want to, you know, burn my fingers. So I'm just going to preheat my tool now, just so that it heats up really well, and once the heat hits the card it will already be at the right temperature, so it will really speed through. And I'm going to see if I can try and get on camera the actual change as it goes along. Okay, that's quite hot now. Okay, so here we have our card almost done. Just moving back now to this I can't think of anything today, my brain's gone to mush. The stamping tool, that's it, that's what I was thinking. Right, so this should all be exactly how I left it. Back to the blazing red. Stamp that on top, and that will just give us a really clear sentiment then, because we don't really want that hidden. That's the whole point in sending someone a card, is to wish them a Merry Christmas. Okay, so let's get this mounted onto our card now, and I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol just to clear that off there, but I will do that later. So I have some pink cardstock here. This is the Foundations card from Creative Expressions, and I absolutely love this card. I will make sure that it is all linked down below. I think this colour is called Raspberry. So this measures 10 by 5, and I'm going to score it at 5. So this is a beautiful, simple, one layer Christmas card. So I'm just going to use some Cosmic Shimmer just to get that glued down. So yeah, you can experiment with any colour mirror card. And I'd love you all to have a new adventure discovering all these beautiful StazOn colours StazOn ink pads in different colours, because you can really go to town with your projects. So don't be shy, stray away from just the black, try out all the beautiful new colours, and I hope you like this Christmas card for our first day of Christmas. So if you like this project, please do give me a thumbs up. I'll be back again for day 2 very soon. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.